Hello, she's back. Okay, hi. Okay, so I said I was going to make two videos today. And the second video today is about knowing what you want. Oh my God. This is one of the hardest things in life to do because life is so transient. Things change, feelings change, emotions change, attitudes change, people change, circumstances change, income change, homes change, life change. I mean, life is so transient. And not to mention that we're living in a kind of economy that's kind of like the economy is just like, see ya. So anyway, why is this topic important? Knowing what you want in life. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself. Like I said before, many years ago, I was doing event planning in New York. I was doing events. Okay, I worked in different levels of events. I actually hosted events and I actually assisted. A lot of the work that I did was either hosting events with restaurants or assisting with events because it's something that I love. I was always a people person. I was always around people. This is prior to the launch of the slander campaign, right? But I learned from that. I experienced that. This is just to give you a blueprint or a backdrop, better yet, a backdrop of where I was and what occurred, right? Okay, so knowing what you want. So part of that was I was doing event planning and I was interning at Human Rights Watch and I loved it. It was really nice. And I have to admit that I became sidetracked for a while because I took a turn and I went into religion, which I will never do again. I am not downing religion. I personally do not like religion. That's just me. This is just my personal views. However, there are very, very, very good religious people. Very, very good religious people. I just personally do not adhere to religion at all. And I also believe that, just to be short, there's a lot of virtue in religious texts. There's some crazies in religious texts as well. But we're not going to go into the crazies because I'm done with religion altogether. Okay. So the point is, I don't want to lose track here, but the point is knowing what you want. So I knew what I wanted to do then. I always liked events. I was always a very social person. I was shy. I was a shy person. I was very reserved, and I was always very private about my relationships and my friendships. I was very, very private, and I would never one given to gossip. I was never really a person that was given to gossip and sit down and just talk. I was just never really about that, right? But I did have a really great social life in New York. I mean, I had an amazing social life in New York, and I was always a very trustworthy person. So a person could come to me, I mean, of all backgrounds, brackets, incomes, whatever. And they could tell me whatever and it would go nowhere. And for some reason, it happened to me a lot in New York. It happened so much in New York. I had a lot of people, I mean, from different backgrounds. It could have been just a working class person or a very wealthy person. They would confide in me because I guess they saw that I was one of those people that was just like, I couldn't care less about your money. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so even though I was a very private and I could be very, very shy at times, on the other spectrum, I was social and I was doing events and I loved it, right? But when it came to my personal life, I was very, very, very private, and I'm still that way today, and I'm even more so today after some of the things that you go through in life, right? So we live, we learn. We don't live there, but we live, we learn. Right? So why is it important to know what you want? It's important to know what you want because I knew what I wanted to do then, but I permitted myself to be sidetracked. And when I got sidetracked, and almost derailed. Right? But luckily I was able to get a grasp back on my life and recognize the mistakes that I made, and then began to lay the right foundation again. Okay, I had to relay the foundation again, and I am continuing to relay the foundation of getting back on track for what I lost, right? Okay, so again, it was event planning. I got sidetracked. Now I'm back on track and I'm going to get it done. That's another thing in life too, always be aware that in life, it's very interesting. Always be aware in life that people are always watching. Okay, People are always watching, and that's something I learned. People are always watching, and you never know what their intent are when they're secretly watching. Okay, and some people, their intent is to derail you from accomplishing your mission, and they may pop up in your life unexpectedly, and you may think, oh my God, this person popped in at the perfect time, just when I need them. But their goal is to derail you from accomplishing what you need to accomplish. So just be aware of that. So all of that is congruent with knowing what you want in life, because when you know what you want in life, stick to it. If it's working, if it's good, if it's legal, stick to it until you get it done, right? Okay, so it's important to know what you want. Okay, and what is knowing? There's two kinds of knowing. There is the external knowing, and then there's the intimate knowing. What you want to know in life has to be multidimensional. It has to be one, external, where you know on the outside what you want to do, and then internally how you're going to go about doing it. Okay, so you want an external understanding of knowing what you want to do, and then you want an internal, more intimate knowledge of what you want to do. Okay, so you have to know what you want to do and how you expect to go about doing it. Okay, so these are some of the techniques I use for myself. Thank you. Hi guys, thank you for coming back and joining me. I'm keeping it under 30 minutes. I don't even know what the time is, but I'll try to keep it under 30 minutes, right? Okay, the second thing, this is something I do all the time. Okay, in New York, I can get away with it because everyone does it in New York, but this is something I do all the time, and I do it with intent. Okay, so it's not just a crazy person walking down the street. Okay, I speak what I want, and I speak what I don't want, and I speak it into the atmosphere. This is very non-conventional. Okay, so some people may be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. It's non-conventional. It's not something that's conventional, okay? Because we have institutions called psychiatry that labels everyone nuts if we do anything that's unconventional. Meanwhile, I just saw a rocket do a vertical descent, okay? But anyway, Elon Musk, rocket did a vertical descent. That's amazing. Anyway, so I speak what I want, but I make sure I'm in a place where, and I always have my phone. I always have my phone so people can think I'm talking on my phone. Okay, but I speak with intent what I want, and I speak with intent what I don't want. And the reason why I do this is twofold. The first reason why I do this is because it's important because I believe, even though I am not religious, I believe that everything in the universe is connected, and everything in the universe has ears. It listens. Not only does it listen, not only is the universe and everything in it listening, but I also believe that it is acting. Okay, it's acting for or against you depending on what you do. This is what I believe. Okay, and I'm not saying anyone should adopt this type of perspective. I'm just saying this is what I do. Okay, and the reason why I speak what I want, and I don't mean walk down the street screaming what you want. There's a time when you can do that. Like, if there's a time when I think that is effective. Okay, but I just mean speaking with intent what you want, a deliberate intent what you want. Okay, and I'm not saying speak it to someone. I'm saying go for a walk and quietly speak out what you want with intent, and speak out what you don't want with intent. Have your cell phone close to you, because we live in a society that labels everyone insane, right? And why do you do that? Because I believe everything in the universe has ears. Do you know that scientists discovered that plants can feel? They can feel when someone is cutting them. Plants can feel when they're being eaten. Plants. This is the latest scientific discovery, that plants have feelings. And I'm like, did they grow? Yes. Do they produce fruit? Yeah. Then they can feel. Do they produce fruit? Yes and no. Do they have leaves? Do the leaves fall off? Yes. Then they can feel. Wait till they find out they can hear. Okay, so that's it for me. So basically, what I do is I deliberately profess, not loud and obnoxious and disturbing, but with intent, okay? Not loud and obnoxious. And I go for a walk and I deliberately profess what I want. I speak what I want and I speak what I don't want, because I am setting invisible parameters for the universe to know what I want and be specific, and what I don't want. Okay? So don't make sure you say what you don't want and be specific. Okay? I'll tell you something. I said, I am going to get a job. I said, I'm going to get this job. Do you know the next day I got a job? Then I realized, I said, I made a mistake. I wasn't specific when I had my intent. I was not specific. So I have to go back and I recalibrate. I recalibrated and I said, I have to be specific as to what I want. This is why I'm speaking with intent and specificity about what I want and what I don't want. Okay? So in life, you have to know what you want and know what you don't want, and speak what you want and speak what you don't want. Otherwise, the universe will send you. Otherwise, you'll be open to any and everything. Okay? Make it clear what you want. Let the universe know what you want. Let the universe know what you don't want. The third thing I do is I remind myself. I remind myself what I want and what I don't want. And I verbally remind myself, I am my own cheerleader. Okay? And I advise everyone to become their own cheerleader. It's just the way life is. You have to become your cheerleader, because in life, not everyone is going to be there cheering for you. In the video before, I spoke about walking alone. Okay? There are things in life that you're going to just have to walk alone. Listen, for all you Christians, Jesus walked alone. For all you Muslims, Muhammad walked alone. For all you Jews, Moses walked alone. Okay? So there comes a point in time where every great person comes to a point in their life where they have to walk alone, and you have to become your own cheerleader, right? Because there's sometimes, and people are very fickle. 1 minute, it's like these celebrities, this is why I would never want to I never wanted to become a celebrity. I always wanted to work behind the scenes, but never become a celebrity. Why? Because people are fickle. Monday morning, the crowds will be cheering for you, and then Monday afternoon, they're calling for your crucifixion. That's how people are. So remind yourself that you could do it. Remind yourself that you're going to accomplish what you want, what you set out to accomplish. Remind yourself that you are good at what you do. If you're not good at what you do, remind yourself to better yourself at what you do, right? Don't just say, I'm good at what I do and you suck, okay? If you need to go back and you need to train, you can become better at what you do, right? Remind yourself it's okay to be good at what you do. There's nothing wrong with that. Every month we get in Forbes magazine, or every month, every year, annually, whatever, we get a view of the world's richest people. Oh, how lovely. And I do not hate, I do not income discriminate. I do not income discriminate. I'm not one of those people that's going to hate rich people because they're rich. I'm not like that. And I'm not one of those people that's going to hate poor people because they're poor. I'm not. But what I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make is, we get to see images of how wealthy people are. We get to see that, in Forbes magazine, the richest people in the world, and we get to hear how brilliant they are and how they are. Comes to us celebrating our own ingenuity, our own, mastery of something. It's like, you sit down and shut up. No one wants to hear about you. Okay? So reminding yourself that you're good at what you do. It's okay to tell yourself you did a good job. And for those of you that think this is bragging, half of you are Christians. Need I remind you, when your God in your Bible, in Genesis, finished creating planet Earth, he said, damn, I did a good job. When Adam saw Eve, when God was finished making Eve, he said, Eve. Okay? Because Eve looked that good. Okay? When you look at the Mona Lisa, or you look at David, or you look at a masterful painting, you sit there and you look at it and you said, this is amazing. And you give honor to the person who created such amazing work. And why can't you? And this is why so many employees are disgruntled. This is the reason why so many employees are disgruntled, because when their boss should be there telling them, you did a really good job, they're not hearing it. This is why my advice is remind yourself that you're good. No one has to know, so they don't say you're braggadocious and you're arrogant. Remind yourself that you're good. Tell yourself that you're great. Tell yourself you did a good job. Pat yourself on the back. Right? Only when you do a good job, okay? All right. Okay. And then the last thing about knowing what you want is do. So it's know what you want, speak what you want, remind yourself about what you want. And then the final thing is take steps to accomplish what you want. Do. Action, 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 action. Okay, so it's important to know what you want, but knowing what you want and not doing anything about it doesn't get you to the finish line. You got to do. And me knowing what I want is important, but I have to do. So that requires me coming out of my shell. Okay, and again, I'm going to put this out there. Do not, okay, anyone in the public, do not look at me like you're embarrassed for me. I am not embarrassed for me. Okay, let me make this clear. Do not look at yourself like I'm embarrassed for me. I am not embarrassed for me at all. Okay, I'm the one who went through this experience. I learned from it. I moved on from it. I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. I know what I need to do. It's time for me to move on. And some of those people who are in the past are officially in the past. So now I'm taking the next step, which is do. And I now have to do what I need to do to get to where I need to get. And what I need to do is become a successful event planner. That's what I need to do. And I have to take the steps that I need to take to get that accomplished. And that requires me going back and becoming certified. So because I've been out of it for a while, things change, industries grow, industries update. I need to become updated. I need to familiarize myself. I need to better myself in certain areas. And I need to do. Not only that, America's a credentialed society. You can't get anything done in this society without the proper credentials, right? You need certain letters after your name. I got to get it done. Right? So it doesn't mean that I'm better than anyone because I'm doing this. No, it just means that this is the way things are. And this is what I need to do to get to where I need to get. Okay. And my final goal is what I would like to do is I would love to work in event planning for a corporation. And after a corporation, let's say I'm there for a while, then go or branch up into event planning on my own. So possibly start a business company doing event planning on my own somewhere in one of the large states with a large population of people. And I'm looking towards hopefully high-end event planning, right? Okay, so knowing what things. First, existence. Okay, you have to speak what you want into existence. To speak what. Third is yourself. Remind yourself. Give yourself that reminder. Train to remember this is what you need to do, right? And then fourth, you got to do. Know what you want, guys. So in life, if you don't know what you want, and this also applies to partners. Like if you're getting into a relationship, you have to know what you want, right? You have to speak to, your special person, whatever. You got to communicate with them what you want, You can't just get into a relationship and be like, oh, yeah, okay, it'll work out. Even though I had some relationships like that and it actually worked out pretty fine, but I wouldn't advise it, right? So you have to speak what you want. You have to, you have to remind what you want, remind them of what you want, like, hey, did you forget that, yeah? And you have to kind of remind them of what you want, right? And then you have to be action oriented. If I know what you want and you know what I want, then I have to do the things that I know you would like me to do. And you have to do the things that I know you would like to have me do. I hope I said that right. You would like me to do, I would like you to do, right? So you have to do these things, right? So you have to do things that would keep reminding the person that you want to be with them and you like them and you're interested in them. and you want to keep them around, and you have to keep this, keep this flame going. So knowing what you want in life, whether it's personal, whether it's family, it's your associates, your friends, business, you have to know what you want to do in life. And the most important thing is do what you want to do, as long as it's legal. Love you. Love yourself.